Salute everyone. Hope everyone's having a blessed Sunday. Of course, this is another installment of Southern Baller Show. Of course, I'm Jared O'Leven Green. Of course, I have my co-host, Code 67 Sports TV. What's going on with you, bro?
Not a whole lot, bro. I'm blessed and highly favored. How y'all gentlemen doing this evening?
I cannot complain about anything, even if I try.
Same here, man. Blessed. Taking it one day at a time.
And of course, I have JB. What's going on with you, man?
Hey, man, just sitting here enjoying this weekend, man.
A lot of football been going on. Uh oh, who won that the FCS championship? Let me see. South Dakota State beat Montana Grizzlies 23-3. Okay, so the other side of Dakota won the state championship instead of North, or the FCS college championship, I should say. So everybody who knows North Dakota State usually they're basically like the Alabama of the FCS, but this time those Jackrabbits made it to the big dance, and they beat the Montana Grizzlies. So shout out to those Jackrabbits. But what I want to start the show talking about is basically those who watched our show when we picked who's gonna win versus Michigan versus Bama, and then Washington versus Texas. Of course, I wrote down everybody who what they picked basically, and I was half and half, Coach. For me myself personally, I picked Michigan to beat Bama because I felt they had their defense was competent enough to compete with Bama, and I just felt like they wouldn't be overwhelmed with that SEC defense. But I was wrong. I thought Texas was going to beat Washington, and Michael. I mean, Michael Penix Jr. made me eat crow, man, for doubting him. And first of all, hold on. I got my brother Joseph Townsend, aka LDBC Business. What's going on, brother?
What's going on with the family? What's going on? Happy New Year's. Happy New Year's to everybody. How's everybody doing?
What's going on, Big Joe? Happy New Year to you, man.
Man, I'm happy to be on the show with y'all, man. I'm happy to talk this football talk. Yes, sir.
Man, we glad
Yes,
to have
sir.
you, Big Joe.
And this is the first show of the new year, so so I'm glad to say, man, it's gonna get bigger and better. So I'm excited to keep this going.
Yes, sir.
So, Joe, you picked Bama. You picked
Yes, sir.
Bama to beat Michigan.
Mhm.
But you were half and half like me. You picked what you knew Michael Penix was going to carve up that Texas secondary,
Mhm.
and I thought that that Texas secondary seemed better offenses, but I I don't know how I doubted that quarterback they had. So what did you think about the outcome? Starting with you, Joe.
And the first of all, they were all really good games. They were all both real good competitive games. In these championship games, these playoff scenarios, we want to see. We want to see good competition. We want to see the best go against the best. We don't want to see no blowouts or nothing. Extravagant. We just want to see good football, and that's what we saw with both games. The Alabama game obviously was a very defensive game. Both teams were struggling to trying to get some offensive momentum. and everything. But at the end of the day, when it matters the most, you know, Michigan eventually got it done. The most frustrating thing, obviously, the most frustrating thing in the Alabama game was the play call on the fourth down, or the
Yes,
oh, yeah, I believe it was a fourth down. Yeah,
you're
I mean, like,
absolutely right. What I definitely want to hear your opinion on that. It seemed like they didn't have faith in uh his arm,
well, I
in
don't know
Reed's
if it's
arm.
faith or if just offensive coordinators don't have any other plays. I mean, you literally they called Michigan called well, Alabama called a timeout, then Michigan called a timeout. You had two timeout opportunities to pick a play. And the best thing you had on your goddamn play card was a quarterback draw. That big
RPO.
old play, or a run pass. Well, to me, it looked like a quarterback draw.
It
He
looked
just
like a
ran
draw to
down.
me too.
It looked like he ran down the middle. So,
Yeah,
Right, but
that
and
wasn't no
and, and
off.
I and no, the reason why I say RPO, fella, excuse me, Tom, I give it back to you, is because shout out to my to the podcasters raw room, um King Dunlap, who used to be a college NFL
Offensive.
yeah.
player, offensive
Hmm.
tackle, was saying that it was supposed to be a pass to the running back in the flat. So if you see, like you said, quarterback draw with a guard pulling, but he got blown up. But if you look at it, there's a running back, running to the flats looking for the ball. So I don't know if there was just a miscommunication where he was supposed to throw it, but he just said fuck it and ran it. But you know, and it was a messed up snap. So I guess after he caught it off the ground, he was like fuck it. So
I
Okay.
do remember there was
Uh,
something going on with the snap though. But
yeah, no, no,
go
yeah,
ahead,
no,
Joe.
yeah, the snap was definitely low, so he had to pick it up and kind of run with it. But if he was gonna call that play, we throw it to the running back, they ain't do that shit all game. I was looking for that play all game. Then if he was gonna do that, I mean, again, you have that whole. He's been pretty much running the ball the whole game to create motion. You know what I mean? So the old line was getting dog walked the whole game. So no matter what play you called, they were gonna get blown up regardless. So so with that being said, again, you have that whole big old playbook. You got this big old sheet that's highlighted 9,000 different colors, and that's the only play you can come up with. You didn't have no roll out to the left, roll out to the right, look back, hit the tight end on the slant, or what most NFL players do. The quarterback will fake run it, pull back, and jump throw it to somebody in the end zone. There's so many plays you can call in that scenario. But they did you know, QB draw or run pass option. Either way, that was your best call in that scenario, and it wasn't good enough.
Yeah,
So shout out to Michigan. Again, the best fought the best, and the best won. So, they move on. And shout out to Washington. I'll go for all the black quarterbacks. So Washington is got a black quarterback and they're a West Coast team. So Washington is going to play Michigan, and I'm sure we're probably going to talk about the picks later on. But hey, the best is fighting the best, and that's all I care about.
yes, sir, yes, sir. Coach, what did you think about your picks? You picked Bama winning, and then you picked Texas winning. Dang, Coach, you was
Oh, for
wrong
two.
on all of them. 0
Yeah.
for 2. Yeah,
And I mean, truthfully speaking, I mean, I think to a certain degree, it's poetic justice. I mean, I hate to see it like this. I felt like Texas and Alabama really, definitely not Alabama. I don't think they really belong, truthfully speaking. I think the two teams that really deserve to be in the national championship game, they're there. So I think it worked out. I think it was poetic justice in that regard. In terms of the game, you were 100% accurate in terms of, Michigan's defense being a lot more physical than I thought. I'm not gonna lie, if you'd have told me that the team was gonna, manhandle Alabama up front, I'd have been like, But I mean, clearly it happened. And Joe Townsend brought up a very valid point from a play calling standpoint. At the end of the game, I'm like, it's 4th and goal. I don't know if it was from like 5, 6, 7, whatever. like that's the best play call you have. To me, in that particular situation, from a coaching standpoint, I don't know if y'all been there, but I know from a coaching standpoint where, one year I was coaching this team, and the team that we was playing against was the team that I played for when I was in middle school. So we got in this particular situation, and I called the play, and two receivers had to be in the same area. And, one of them couldn't catch the ball. And then the next three plays, like the nose guard, he just started cranking it up, even though I had my best two offensive linemen on him. Like, he just was blowing everything up. So he really didn't make the sacks, but he disrupted the floor of the plays for like the next few plays. It was like, second and goal, third and goal, fourth and goal. So like the next year, I was coaching another team against the same team I played for in middle school, and I got in that scenario. But the only issue was we only had one timeout left, and we was on like maybe the 20, maybe the 15, and I said, if I ever get in this situation, I'm gonna call this play. So I called that play, but the league I was in at the time, like all the defenses ran cover one like all the time. He was one of the few coaches that ran cover two, so he kind of caught me off guard. So I wasn't a head coach for this particular team, whereas the year before I was the head coach, the school I was at. So I'm like, all right, should I call timeout and drop the play the way I wanted, or should I save this timeout for the 2-point conversion because we was down 6-0? So I'm like, I modified the play slightly, but they didn't run it the way I called it. So, but in this particular scenario, y'all college coaches, supposed gurus, whatever the case may be, man, to me, I think Joe Townsend is right. To me, it looked like a quarterback draw, but I know what JB was saying. It was supposed to be like an RPO with an offensive lineman pulling. To me, in that particular scenario, I think Joe is right. Either I would call two things. I would call like a sprint pass, where I would have like trips to one side, and I would roll my quarterback to that side, to the trip side of the field, and let him try to hit somebody. Or in that particular instance, I would do like Willie Simmons did against Southern, and he ran a dash screen where he faked the sprint pass to one side, and he threw a dash screen to the other side. And I think FAMU ended up getting like 20 yards off of that particular play. But I think in that particular instance, you need a score. I think the rollout of the sprint pass would be like my play call, from a coaching perspective. So, it shows that even though, Joe played on a higher level in terms of, as a player, from a coaching standpoint, like we got the same mindset, because I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, why would he run a draw or whatever it was? To me, that's the perfect opportunity. Milroe is a running quarterback. If you run a sprint pass, you give him three options to that side of the field, to the wide side of the field. And even if, nothing is open, then he could take off and run. But if you run a draw up the middle, like you limiting what he could do. So to me, whether it was an RPO or whether it was a draw, either call was stupid to me. I think the sprint pass to the rollout would have been the perfect play call in that particular situation.
I definitely agree. JB, you were saying with me and Joe, you picked Bama and you picked Washington, so you right one, wrong one. What's your opinion of the aftermath?
Basically with the Bama and Michigan game, I have to go off of what Coach said. I was surprised that the Michigan defensive line dominated the line of scrimmage. They were after that one long run. I think Bama scored first by their running back. After that, they really didn't get a lot of runs except for when Milroe took off. And I was telling Jared during the game, I said they need to start making plays and let Milroe use his legs. And then when they started doing that, they started to have success. So that way they can open up the pass. Shout out to Michigan. They did what they were supposed to do, and the running back Kroon is that dude. He is the truth. You
Yeah,
know.
Corum. Yeah.
So Corum, excuse me. He is the truth, and I hope he followed to Baltimore. I hope that's a running back that Baltimore is looking at. He'll fit well with our offense with Lamar. Um, and as far as the end of the play at the end of the game, as I stated, I don't. I mean, the brothers might have been right, Joe Town and Coach. It might. Uh, it looked like the play was a quarterback power or quarterback run or whatever. But I just thought I think there was a miscommunication. I think the play was supposed to go throw it to the running back. I think um, with the snap, I think Miro in his head didn't think he had enough time to throw, so he just took it in himself. So, um, and Michigan won the game. With the other game with the Washington and Texas, just as I stated, I was not impressed with Texas defense. I knew they had the offense to run the ball. Texas got some weapons at the running back position and the receiving position. But I just knew that Washington played better teams defensively as well as offensively. So, and it showed.
Okay. Okay. I definitely thought opposite with you, JB, and salute uh to Soul Power, aka Gamed Up Kennels. He said, "Salute, great brothers." One of our LDBC brothers in here. Appreciate you, man, for stopping by. Um, I am Trill Will said, "Let's go Penix." So of course he's hoping Washington take it. Um, but yeah, I thought as far as the Washington Texas game, I thought Texas was um uh seen better, not as far as quarterback, because Michael Penix a beast, but overall offenses. I thought they've been in many wars within the season, so they wouldn't be overwhelmed by Michael Penix Jr. And I don't know if some of their secondary players jumped in the transfer portal or went to the draft. They couldn't cover no one, nobody in the secondary. I mean, they couldn't cover none of the Washington wide receivers, and Michael Penix Jr. was balling. So he definitely made me eat crow. But as far as the Michigan game, I have had my eye on Michigan, especially Blake Corum. And their defense is solid enough where they can compete with anybody. So I basically knew that they was gonna punch or try to punch Alabama in their mouth, and they did, and Alabama tried to punch back, but it was too late. Um, and of course that questionable play at the end. But like Joe Townsend said, congratulations to Michigan and congratulations to Washington. So that leads me into our final question on this topic.
Can I add something real quick, brother? Something I
You
forgot.
sure can. You sure can.
I'm sorry, real quick, brother. So, only reason why I'm saying this is because I know how the media spin stuff. So, when Alabama beat Auburn and Milrose threw that gorgeous pass in the corner, threw it on the rope. He threw an NFL caliber throw. When he did that and won the game, you know what they said afterwards? Oh, we practice that all the time. That's just the throw it in the garbage can. We practice that every day in practice. Oh,
Yeah,
come
I
on,
called that too.
Nick Saban practices everything. He thinks of every scenario. This is what they do. This is Alabama. Alabama has assistants to the assistant to the assistant to the assistant. My old coach Charlie Strong is an assistant at Alabama right now. So they got a lot of football minds there. They say they practice everything. So, but then when that play happens at the end of the game, all of a sudden now Melrose is trash. Well, that's the only thing that they can call because I mean, like it's Melrose. I mean, to me that's bullshit. I mean, like shit, like even you can call Little Giants play the annexation of Puerto Rico. You can have something. I mean, you can try a double reverse throw or something. I mean, you got everybody there, and that's the only play you can come up with. I'm not buying it. You
Bro,
know, so
I almost choked on my coffee. Coffee, you said that Little Giants play, bro.
Hey, it worked. They won the game, didn't it? They won the game, baby. Well, I mean, like you practice everything, so you should have that one play. Every coach has that one play. That ain't no shit. Boise State beat that one team with the fake pass play and won the game. Every coach got it. Yeah, everybody got something.
Yeah, Statue of Liberty play.
Go ahead, brother.
I don't mean to cut you off, but you brought up a very valid point, Joe Town, and it's the crazy thing about it. You know, even kind of rebutting what JB was saying. You know, I'm not saying that. You know, I think JB just kind of trying to, analyze the play. But even if they threw a swing pass in a flats, bro, they wasn't gonna score a touchdown on it. No. I mean, a rollout, a sprint pass, a waggle pass, something along those lines would have put you in position where you had a two-way goal. But even if you throw a flare, a swing pass out the backfield to your running back, man, they wasn't gonna score on that play. So he right. I mean, to say Nick Saban's supposed to be this wizard and this genius, this football guru, bro, that wasn't gonna get the job done in that scenario.
No. I mean, these assistant coaches make hundreds of thousands of dollars. They ain't in there starving. These coaches make $200,000, $300,000 a year. Your job is to create plays and scenarios for every situation. And remember, this is Alabama, the pinnacle of football. They had Michigan had 6 sacks by halftime. Every football player and coach know to stop any pass rush. What do? You throw a screen. I haven't seen one screen the whole game. So again, if it was Nick Saban when they beat Auburn, it's Nick Saban when they lost to Michigan.
Facts. I agree. I
Very
didn't like them trying to act like the boy can't throw, and that's foolishness. I think that was just a bad play by Coach Saban and the offensive coordinator.
I'm sorry, brother. I just want to get that off real quick.
No, you good, man. This is what the Southern Baller Show is about. So,
right.
So
and look, and I'm with y'all. I'm sorry, Jared, but I stand corrected, man. You know, I was just trying to figure out what the hell happened. You know what I'm saying?
Shit, me too.
So I'm like, I know he probably wanted to throw that. So he saw the guard pulling and getting blown up, right? And then he had the low snap, and I think he probably panicked a little bit and said, "Hell with, I'll run it." You know what I'm saying? So, but y'all probably right. Go ahead, Jared. I'm sorry.
No, you good. I just wanted to give love to my brother Soul Power, aka Gained Up Candles. He said, "Just share the live in my community." I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Appreciate you. But I was gonna save this topic for later in the show, but since we was already talking about it, it doesn't make sense to wait. So, who you got tomorrow? You got Michigan or you got Washington? Y'all know who you picking. Go ahead. Let them know.
Well, this is a tremendous game because Washington is going to be in the Big Ten next year. So this game is going to define the superiority of the Big Ten Conference. Whoever wins this game is going to have bragging rights all off season and next year. So this might be the precursor to the Big Ten championship game next year. But with all that being said, hey, I'm riding with the black quarterback. I'm riding with the West Coast team. They have speed. They're physical enough to get the job done. Oregon is not a pushover team, and they beat Oregon twice this year. And Michigan, they slapped Alabama all in the mouth. So this is going to be a great ball club. This is definitely going to be. It's going to be who's more physical and who has the most athletic players. And to me, I think Washington has the most athletic players. Washington don't get enough credit for their specialty players. Like, oh, they're West Coast team, they're fast. Yada yada yada. But they're proving that they're showing up on the biggest stage. They're not afraid to play anybody. And a lot of times, if you don't have no fear, then you're able to play to the best of your abilities. So I got Washington in this game. I think it's going to be close. I say like 35-41, something like that. It'll be a high scoring game.
Okay. All right. Coach, who you got? Washington or Michigan?
For those individuals that saw yesterday on Bayou Sports Talk, I picked Michigan yesterday. However, I want Michael Penix Jr. to win. And the way he looked against, the University of Texas on New Year's Day, I'm going to be truthful. He looks like probably, in my opinion, the most underrated quarterback in NFL history. He kind of showed, a few glimpses of Warren Moon, the way he looked. I mean, he looked excellent. He played well.
Oh, that's high praises right there.
That's high praise. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's going to have the same type of NFL career Warren Moon had, but the way he was dropping dimes, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I thought we was going to have a Tony Weeks type situation in terms of, the Ruffs was going to try to sway things in the University of Texas way because let's be honest with you, Alabama and University of Texas from a political standpoint, they got a lot of pull and they got a lot of money behind them. But, even though I picked Michigan yesterday, I love Michael Penix Jr. Hopefully he has a phenomenal game. I've always been the kind of individual that kind of prided myself on standing on my square and not being a flip-floppy individual. But in this particular context, I'm going to be a flip-flopper. I'm going with the Huskies.
Okay. Well, I'm going to stand on my square. And I'm going to let you know right after JB gives his pick, Michigan or the Huskies. JB, who you got?
I got Washington. I'm going to tell you why. During that Alabama game, right? Alabama had a chance to win that game, except if it wasn't for the fumble with Jalen Milroe when they was driving in the Michigan territory to take the lead, right? I think that Michigan will face a team, right, with a quarterback that is competent and accurate, right? And he's going to test this Michigan secondary. Like Coach said, they skill position, their running back and their wide receiver are very good. Okay, now this game is gonna come down to which defense is gonna step up, because I know the offense is gonna move the ball. Number 2 for Michigan. You said was it Chrome or Chrome, Jared? Corum. Excuse me. I gotta remember that. Corum, right? I think he's gonna have a good game. That quarterback that they have, he's a little mobile quarterback.
Cardi.
He's okay. Yeah, he's like a game manager, but he's got a little athleticism to it. So, and they feed off the run game. So, yeah, I can't wait for this game. I think both offenses are going to score, but and just thinking about it now, I think Michigan is probably not Michigan, but Washington is probably has the better offense. If you think about it, Okay, yeah, I'm going Washington. All right, I'm going Washington. I'm not going to be a flip flopper like Coach.
Shots fired. Anyway, I'm standing on my square. I'm gonna be the lone wolf. Both of you, all three of you fellow brothers picked Washington. Washington. I'm picking Michigan. And before I go into it, I want to give shout out to Cadillac Red, aka Supreme Beats Boxing Talk, one of the coldest channels as far as talking to boxing in the LDBC. So please support this brother,
Absolutely.
him and KG.
Supreme.
That's
Salute,
my
Cadillac
dog
Red.
Red. Yes, sir.
But and actually, Cadillac Red gave me a topic as far as talking about the transfer portal. I want to discuss with you, especially I want to hear your opinion of it, Big Joe.
All right.
But I'm picking Michigan. Let me tell you why.
There's
I
always
don't
one.
trust. I don't be that one that I'm going with my football. I want that brother, the black man in me want Washington to win because of Michael Penix Jr. But my football common sense is going toward Michigan. The reason why I don't trust Pac-12 defense. Do not trust at all when it comes to teams that can dish it out and then that got a pretty damn good defense on that other side of the ball. So, and I believe Michigan is that team. So, as you saw against Bama, they could give it out and they could dish it. So Blake Corum is going to control the game. I don't think that Washington defense can contain Blake Corum for all 4 quarters. And I think that that Michigan D line is going to feast on that offensive line with Washington, in my opinion. Of course, I could be wrong, but hey, this is my pick. I'm standing on it, and I'm willing to eat crow if I'm wrong.
I was just telling you, Jared, the Pac-12 as a whole has some pretty good teams this year.
Washington's a very good team, but on the defensive side of the ball, I mean,
Washington D line was getting active against Texas. Now they got a couple of DNs that I can bend in the corner.
Texas offensive line, and the reason why I picked Texas, their offensive line is not world beaters, but I thought they were efficient enough to hold them off just for them to get the job done, which they did okay, but they got, like you said, that Washington D line was getting back there. But I think this Michigan O line is a whole different animal. But we gonna see. It's football, y'all.
Yes, sir.
So,
it's gonna be a good game regardless. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can pick Michigan all day long, but if Washington strap up and play and hit Michigan in their mouth, they definitely got a chance to win. Definitely. But we shall see.
You know why it's hard for me to pick Michigan as well?
Why?
The assistant coach crying like a motherfucker for Harbaugh. I can't stand that shit, bro.
Joe Town said on some man code stuff. Nah, I can't ride with Michigan.
Because the truth speaking, I know, dude. He was when I was at school, he was there.
Really?
Yeah. So yeah, I know him to a degree. I don't know him that well, but because your brothers had a conversation. I remember we were talking about, how coaches like move up in the ranks and all that kind of stuff. Like when I was playing, he was the bag dude. When you got set up drills and you got set up the bags, that was his job.
Oh, he was a dummy dude.
Yeah. All right, bag drill. He'll set up the bags and get the drills ready. That's what he did. And even back then, he was a little
So,
little off. You know,
so he was a GA at the time. Big Joe. Now he was a GA or what?
something like that. I didn't get close with him that much. When you playing, you kind of stay in your position group to a degree. But he he was pretty much like a GA. You set up bags and hey, go do this, go do that. So that's pretty much what he did.
Yeah, I mean, it sounded like he was either a GA or some type of quality control guy. It sounded like he was like real on the totem pole.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's
So
that dude.
and minus the crying, he said some interesting stuff about about interracial dating and all that kind of stuff in the public, and I'm like, all right, bro, you're doing a little bit too much now. So I can't rock with it just on that either. So I got to rock with Penix.
Okay. And Supreme Beast Boxer said he said he was the bag dummy. Go get the bags, dummy.
Hey,
Right.
hey, he got set up. Somebody got set up the drill. Somebody got set up the cones, and somebody got to do it now. And there ain't nothing wrong with that because we need everybody on every, from the water boy all the way down to the lady in the office. It's a whole team, but that's what he was doing at the time.
Man, well, look how time flies and where he at. So I mean, he must have been doing some. He must have been doing a damn good job setting up them dummies or something.
And he doing some good crying too. Shit.
Damn. Well, woo. Well, I still got Michigan, and so it's 3-1. So we gonna see who eat crow tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
But JB, I'm gonna introduce this topic, and I'm gonna let you eat because you and Brent Fox was eating last show when we was talking about possible MVP. So now we're getting closer to the playoffs, and then eventually we're going to crown, the NFL is going to crown who is going to be the MVP. You see Brock Purdy, Christian McCaffrey, and Lamar Jackson. Now, actually, the race is actually between, in my opinion, and other people think so as well, is Christian McCaffrey and Lamar Jackson, or the two that most likely is going to win. Of course, my pick, being a Baltimore Ravens fan, I'm picking Lamar Jackson. Now, JB, you had said something interesting last show about basically the differences between the two. Can you elaborate on that? Because it came up again.
No, I won't just elaborate because I think last year, a couple of months ago, Brent Fox did a video on his show, and we did a show here on the Southern Baller podcast, and I think Drew Town was in the chat, and he chipped in on the discussion as well. Is running backs valuable? We had that discussion here on the show, and I said out my mouth, I said if Christian McCaffrey, because I had a feeling he was going to have a great season, if Christian McCaffrey does very well, we're going to return to this subject. Because what does the MVP stand for? Most valuable player, right? So, if you give Christian McCaffrey the MVP, right, does that mean running backs are going to get paid more? Because they're valuable. But all offseason, we were told that they're not valuable.
Yeah.
So this is why he's not going to win the MVP.
How you know that for sure? Like,
I mean, if they do, if
Beats Boxing talks, they're going to give it to the white boy.
If they give,
possibly.
If they, and I want everybody to hear me clear, if they give the MVP to Christian McCaffrey, they need to pay a lot of these running backs. Saquon Barkley was trying to get a bag this season.
Dalvin Cook,
Dalvin Cook, Taylor was trying to get a
Jonathan
bag
Taylor.
this season. Jonathan Taylor.
The running back for the Chargers. I forgot his name. Number 30. He was trying to get a bag too. He was
Eckler.
trying to hold out. Eckler, yeah, Eckler.
So this is and so if he doesn't get the MVP, that's the NFL fault for shitting on the running backs. And if Chris McCaffrey does get the MVP, they owe a lot of running backs who held it out an apology. Because what you're showing is that their position is valuable.
but also what we've been talking about with Supreme Beast Boxing Talk is put in the chat. White running back sells better than black quarterback.
No, not really. The reason why I say
To
that
you.
because
Hold on, to you, but you got a lot of be honest, a lot of white folk who they never really seen a white running back like that.
here's the
In
thing.
high
Here's the
school
thing.
or college,
Right.
and he doing his thing in NFL. A lot of the white fan base is gonna go toward Christian. Go ahead.
Here's the thing, Jared.
Mhm.
I understand what you're saying. I'm talking about the subject matter at hand, not the politics. Because the politics is,
Right,
I'm talking
I
about
understand
the
Just giving them
bed
facts.
they made for this position. The NFL made this bed and they got to lay in it, right? They was telling all season how because this is a win-win situation for the running back either way you go. Leave race out of it. But even though I knew this was going to happen, because we seen Al and Coach can back me up on it. We seen Alvin Kamara do what Chris McCaffrey do for a couple of seasons now. Now he's slowing down, right?
Mhm.
And even Barry Sanders was like the year he
Ran over
he had
2,000 yards. Yeah, over 2,000
yeah
yards.
he ran for 2,000 yards. He had the coach share it with Brett Favre.
In
So this
1999,
something that they've been doing. So if Christian McCaffrey gets the MVP, is everybody willing to have this conversation again? Like me and Brent Fox tried to tell you, what everybody in the Southern Ballers podcast tried to tell you about the running backs are still valuable. Because I still think Lamar is valuable based on because I know how much he means to not only the Baltimore Ravens offense, but as the team as a whole. And
we saw that last night.
yeah. I love Tyler Huntley, you know what I'm saying, but that ain't gonna cut it, bro. You know what I'm saying?
At all.
But yeah, so salute to Christian McCaffrey. He deserved to get his name in the MVP conversation. I'm just watching all the people who were crying about him may not winning the MVP was the same ones talking about how running back shouldn't get a lot of money. I'm watching you dudes, and just because this white boy had a good season, y'all pushing him up in everybody's face. But at the same time, when all these black running backs are trying to get their paper, everybody had a problem with it. I'm watching you dudes, and I shut up now.
Okay, any rebuttal and any feedback?
Well, my take
Coach
on
or Joe, go ahead, Coach, since you answer first.
well, my take on the situation is, we talked about the whole situation with ESPN First it was the Josh Giddey and Von Miller situation. The double standard when it came to that, and then basically Cam Newton got on his podcast, and basically he was saying that the quarterback to my left, Brock Purdy, people like him, like Tua, they're basically game managers. However, the quarterback to our far right, Lamar Jackson, he's a game changer. And truthfully speaking, we talked about the entire situation with, ESPN. They have this prototype when it come to these women they put on their show. They put black women that date or that's married to white men, so they're bed wenches. And basically they use them as puppets when they get on ESPN to downcast the black athlete or former black athletes or whatever the case may be. In the past it was Malika Andrews. At this point, it's Kimberly A. Martin. Basically she made Cam Newton look like he was stupid. He didn't know anything about football, even though she never played one single down in the NFL. And Cam Newton is a former league MVP in the NFL. So in terms of validity, his opinion has a lot more validity than hers. And we said this back then that, hey, basically, Lamar Jackson is that guy. I think the last few weeks, he's proven it. When they played head-to-head against the 49ers, the Ravens beat the 49ers. He played head-to-head against the Dolphins. They beat the Dolphins. I don't care what nobody say. Hands down at this point, Lamar Jackson is the NFL League MVP. Now, we know they really don't want him to win it. I think ESPN is kind of a pawn in the game because if you look at the entire situation with the contract dispute, like Jalen Rose pointed out, like he's the only one of these like high-profile NFL players that don't have a agent that's one of these 24 karat gold people or 24 karat people like 7-8 likes to say. So
like Drew Rosenhaus and all them people.
Yeah, you don't have a Rosenhaus type agent. Essentially his mom acted as his agent. So that's another thing they didn't like. They really didn't want Lamar Jackson to be the MVP. Now, Cadillac Red is right from a politics standpoint, from a marketability standpoint. If you got a running back like a Christian McCaffrey, like a Mike Allstott, even when the first team I was the head coach of, the players on my team, even though, LSU had a lot of excellent black players, all they talked about at the time was Jacob Hester, because he was a big, strong white running back. So I think Cadillac Red is right, especially in my neck of the woods in South Louisiana. It's definitely more marketable, but in terms of the actual league MVP, bro, it's not even close. It's not Brock Purdy. It's not Christian McCaffrey. It's far and away Lamar Jackson. He's proven it on the field. To me, if he doesn't win it, it proves, all of our doubts, like, correct in terms of, the whole narrative with the offseason, with the contract situation, the NFL not really wanting him to be the MVP because of, him not having a Rosenhaus type agent. And more than anything, he's proving it on the field. So I think he's undeniable at this point. If he doesn't win league MVP, I think it's a conspiracy, in my opinion,
Big Joe, what you think?
Well, how I look at it is, no matter what position a white player is in, they want them to be better than any black player, no matter what position they are. You can have a white wide receiver, and they would say that he should be the MVP. So they're gonna push their agenda because all the owners can relate to Christian McCaffrey. They look like their son, their grandson, or whatever. But again, we're talking about who should win the MVP. The MVP is the most valuable player. And if you take away Lamar Jackson off the Ravens, we saw what happened, yesterday against the Steelers. Now it was raining and everything, but yeah, Huntley is not Lamar Jackson.
Not at all.
So you take away Lamar off the team, there is no Ravens. There's just not. The same thing when LeBron James leave Cleveland, there's no Cavaliers, they're just Cleveland. So the whole economy goes down. So you take Christian McCaffrey off the Niners. Granted, he's a Pro Bowl player, one of the best, probably one of the best running backs in the league. You just put Debo Samuels back there, and he can do the same shit. You still got Kittle, you still got Ayuk, you know, you still got Trent Williams as a left tackle. So the Niners have a squad. Nobody was saying McCaffrey was MVP when he was playing for the Panthers. If I recall, McCaffrey couldn't even stay healthy.
Facts. That's what was my point. Thank you.
So is the running back position valuable? Absolutely. The most disrespected position in football is actually a fullback. Nobody cares about a fullback anymore, but the Niners are the only one who still uses the fullback, and still, even throw him the ball and whatnot. That's the most disrespected position is the fullback. But running backs are still highly important. They say they don't exist, which makes no sense because, if it wasn't for Derrick Henry, the Titans wouldn't even be relevant. When Derrick Henry would go on his string of games, looking invincible, because they had Tannehill as their quarterback. Tannehill wasn't shit. That Derrick Henry made that team go.
He sure did.
So, and then you see now with Derrick Henry's not having that phenomenal season, you see how they're struggling, and you get Derrick Henry run for $153 and a touchdown, and they talking about letting him go, like you can replace a Derrick Henry. Now a lot of coaches will say running backs are a dime a dozen. So when it comes to recruiting in the NFL and college, running backs are a dime a dozen. That's what they say. But superstars are running back are not a dime a dozen. So like your McCaffrey,
find that Barry Sanders type back.
Yeah. Like you can't. Yeah, so like your McCaffreys, your Henrys, your Najee Harris. Brandon Jacobs for the Raiders. Those running backs like that, you can't replace them because they're valuable to the organization. Now, when it comes to white running backs, y'all remember the whole Peyton Hillis phenomenon when he was with the Browns?
Yeah.
He only had one good year. They put him on the cover of Madden and everything. After that, he won shit. So, they're desperate to try to find anybody in any position to make them be the face in the NFL, which is why that's why they're so jock riding Brock Purdy, because there's more black quarterbacks now are going to be in the NFL, as we see. We see who won the Heisman this year. So black quarterbacks are coming and they're taking over the league. So, but who should be the MVP? It should be Lamar Jackson. Who they want to win the MVP? Brock Purdy or Christian McCaffrey. Now, you take away Brock Purdy off the Niners, and you can plug in a Tannehill. Will they still have the same results? Not sure, because they're both game managers. So they're both kind of the same player to me. So at the end of the day, Lamar Jackson should be the MVP. Even all the players, the guys who play against him, say he should be the MVP. That's which is why I love the NFL Top 100, because the players vote on who's the best player in the league. Not no bedwench black chick who don't know nothing about football, who's up there as a prop. You have the players vote on who's the best player in the league. So you can't say, oh, how is he the best player in the league? Negro, because all the players who play against him vote for him. All the players who play against him and say, he's that dog, that's who voted for him.
And don't forget the white lady that said he was quarterbacking. So don't forget her.
Oh yeah, her too. They want, again, if they could, they'll give Jared Allen the MVP, but Buffalo is struggling this year. So, and I say Jared Allen, Allen, he's a watered down Cam. Whatever. Oh yeah, Jared Allen was at the end. Hey, all white folks look alike. Anyways, Josh Allen, he's a watered down Cam Newton. I said that before. He ain't do nothing that Cam Newton didn't do. But Cam Newton gets disrespected. So but Lamar Jackson MVP. It's not even close. Even all the players say that. So
and just to kind of reiterate what JB was saying earlier, there was a point when, of course, Alvin Kamara plays for the Saints. Christian McCaffrey, he started off with the Carolina Panthers. They made it seem like he was all well. But basically, the reason why he had like more yards, slightly more yards rushing, slightly more yards receiving than Alvin Kamara was because Alvin Kamara was on a better team with more weapons with the Saints, whereas Christian McCaffrey usage rate was higher. And in all actuality, Christian McCaffrey isn't doing anything that Alvin Kamara isn't capable of doing. And like we were saying about devaluing the running back position, to be truthful, the way the Saints are angling, like Keandre Miller is going to replace Alvin Kamara sooner rather than later. So, the shelf life of a running back is not that long. So no matter how much they try to push Christian McCaffrey, at some point in the next few years, I don't think he's going to be.
No, he ain't going to make much longer.
I've seen so many over the years, once you hit 30, like, bro, you're just going downhill at that point.
And don't forget that year that they were comparing him and Kamara, he was sharing handoffs with Ingram.
Yep. Yeah, but it kind of, we kind of saying the same thing. We just phrasing it differently, but his usage rate was so much higher because they didn't have anything in Carolina. They gave him the ball all the time. They threw him the ball all the time. Whereas, for the Saints, like you said, you had Ingram, you had other running backs, but in terms of like wide receivers, they threw Kamara the ball a lot out the backfield. But man, they had so many more weapons in New Orleans that Kamara couldn't get the amount of touches that Christian McCaffrey was getting because Christian McCaffrey was all they had in Carolina.
Right. And the reason and that was my point earlier of what Joe was saying, that you can market him all you want, but at the same time, look, man, like when you go to like the top 100, people who know who's really good, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, man, shout out to Christian McCaffrey. You know what I'm saying? He's a really good player. He's balling. He's doing what he's supposed to do. Can't take nothing away from him. I just see through the politics as far as, you know what I'm saying, they're trying to make the running back, him being MVP as the most valuable player, but you're not going to pay these running backs like their value.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, Lamar is the MVP, and I'll leave it alone.
Okay. Y'all cooking. I want to give a shout out, few shout outs in the chat. Jay the C, salute. He said, salutations, my brother. Please go subscribe to this brother channel. Another channel that's fire is my course. My homie, Living Big with Big Reg. What's good, everybody?
Salute to you, Big Reg. Appreciate you earlier, bro.
And one of the LDBC brothers, Picasso, what's going on, man?
I got a quick question, bro.
Go ahead.
So again, Christian McCaffrey, the aura of Christian McCaffrey. Again, he's a great player, a phenomenal player, probably one of the best running backs in the league. But we're not gonna act like he's just this phenomenal all-stopping running back. You take our Christian McCaffrey and you put a prime Maurice Jones-Drew in there, you think he ain't gonna do the same thing? Or maybe better?
I think you better. Marshall Faulk.
I mean, you take Marshall Faulk, LaDainian Tomlinson, prime LT, you put him in there, you think he ain't gonna get busy with the squad that he's on now? So I mean, he's a phenomenal player, but also we can't forget who's around him too.
Yeah, I mean, hell, I take Alvin Kamara now, a healthy one, because of course he's hurt right now. I take a healthy Alvin Kamara over Christian McCaffrey. I mean, truthfully speaking.
Oh yeah.
And like 7-8 was saying, he brings this up all the time when he's talking about, these, white players or these non-black players that they try to pedestalize, whether we talking about Luka or whether we talking about the Joker in the NBA. But let's be realistic. If Christian McCaffrey was your average black, just say if he was black, let's do it this way. If he was black would he be getting pushed as hard as he's getting pushed right now?
No,
Truthfully.
definitely not.
So I mean, that's the thing. I mean, to me, Christian McCaffrey and Alvin Kamara is essentially the same player as far as I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and and JB can attest to this. I've been said this because Chris McCaffrey came from a good bloodline. His dad was a beast. I think his mama was an athlete. So they gonna make a athletic
His
white
mama
man.
ran track, I think. Didn't she run track or something?
Yep. And Ed McCaffrey played a lot of years for the Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
Pro Bowl.
You know, he's not as tall. You know, Ed McCaffrey was like 6'5", and Christian is like what 5'11" or whatever he is.
Yeah. So Jada6 made a good point because I've been said this. Chris McCaffrey can easily be a slot receiver like Julian Edelman or Wes Welker and extend his career. Yeah. Christian McCaffrey is basically a wide receiver that can play running back, aka Debo.
Yeah.
And I mean,
the Niners got two. And the Niners got two of them.
Yep. And like Joe was saying, essentially, let's be truthful. You know, Debo Samuel is stronger than Julian Edelman. I mean, saying Julian Edelman. I mean Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah. But of course, to wrap it up, and I do want to say this, y'all mark my words. If Chris McCaffrey does not win the Heisman, what's going to happen? Because Chris McCaffrey
MVP.
Excuse me, the MVP. I'm sorry. He tried. The reason why I said Heisman, excuse me, because he did this with the Heisman in college. He got mad when Derrick Henry won the Heisman. Christian McCaffrey put on social media that the reason why he didn't win the Heisman because he a white running back. No, Christian, a 6'3", 6'4", damn near 6'4", 260-pound running back from Alabama was running all over.
Who ran a 4.4, 4.3?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean
SEC too.
Yeah, exactly.
SEC.
Oh, that's right. McCaffrey went to Stanford.
Again, Pac-12 defense, but Chris McCaffrey made everybody eat crow because he's doing what he did in against some Pac-12 defenses. He's consistent in the NFL, so I can't take that away from him.
Oh no, he's not. Oh yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, he's having a phenomenal season. He's a top 10 running back, but we're not gonna act like who he's surrounded by is not helping, brighten up this aura of Christian McCaffrey. So Lamar Jackson, and that's it. He make the whole team go. You take out Christian McCaffrey, they still go. Now, if you take out Debo Samuels, they ain't moving. We seen that this year.
Yeah.
You take out Debo and you take out the left tackle, they ain't moving this year. And they still have McCaffrey. They took out Debo on the left tackle, they lost like 2 or 3 games.
Yeah. Jada6 asked the panel question, what are y'all expectations for Black Monday tomorrow?
Everybody on Washington except Jerry.
Yep. 3-1.
Yeah, I picked Michigan to win it. Everybody else picked Washington to win it. Good question, Jada6. Jay Barr, he said, "What's up, fellas? Salute to you in the chat. Salute Jay Barr, always here. I appreciate you."
Salute Jay Barr. Appreciate you yesterday, bro.
In other news, and shout out to Cadillac Red for bringing up this topic. The younger brother of Tua Tagovailoa, and if I butchered his last name, forgive me.
Tua Tagovailoa.
Tagovailoa, thank you. Talua, his younger brother, he jumped in the portal transfer portal from Maryland, which he had a decent career. But the trip about this, and this is what goes into what me and Coach were talking about in past shows regarding the how different it is now compared to back in the day. Um, as far as regarding the transfer portal, um, Talia's going to play his 6th year in college, which is almost like never heard of almost. But because in 2020 season he didn't, it didn't count basically because of COVID-19 pandemic. What do y'all think about that? And there's examples of that. Probably not necessarily the exact same situation of Talia, but it's. I mean, there's a prime example of what this transfer portal, this new transfer portal rules, has been doing in college football nowadays. What do y'all think about that?
Usually, we like to let Big Joe go first, but I'm gonna hop in first on this one. COVID, it kind of changed the landscape of college football because, I remember, as a Southern University fan, I remember in, the mid 90s, basically, Coach Pete Richardson, Southern University head coach at the time, the dean of the SWAC, basically he kind of feasted off of transfers that was at the end of the bench at LSU that transferred over to Southern, and almost right away they became first team all SWAC, all Americans, guys like Micah Hayes and Chris Cooper, so on and so forth. After it got to a point when Nick Saban was the head coach at LSU, like he put a block that prevented LSU players from transferring to Southern. And since then, like Southern never really got players to transfer from LSU. Since then, that was like 2003. That was so long ago. Southern and LSU won the national championships, on their respective levels that year. But since COVID, like it's an entirely different world. Players could come and go. I'm talking about players that, at least in that time frame, players transferred because they were buried at the end of the bench and they just wanted the opportunity to play. Whereas nowadays, players could be starting, and for no apparent reason, they could be starting. It could be a start on their own team. Now, don't get me wrong. You got a lot of players that their head coach get fired. They jumping in the portal. We was talking about, from a SWAC perspective, like FAMU has so many like 3 and 4 star players because, one, seems like there's a lot of NIL money in the state of Florida, because if you look at FAMU's roster on paper, Bethune-Cookman's roster on paper, they got a lot of 3 and 4 star players that's transferring like from Florida State, University of Florida, FIU, FAU, and all those colleges in Florida, So, but the point I'm making is, once Willie Simmons decided he was going to leave and go to Duke University to be the running backs coach, of course he got like probably $150,000 bump in pay, even though, he just won a Black National Championship for FAMU. Basically, I guess he took the money, and some of those players that he got to come to FAMU, most of them have stayed, but, a few of them jumped in the portal. But you can have guys that starting wherever they are. They could be the star on their own team, and just for no apparent reason, I don't know if it's due to NIL money. Maybe they want a bigger platform. Maybe they want a better opportunity to go to NFL. But these guys just leave and they jump in the portal. And like you say, basically because of COVID, these guys get an extra year eligibility, and it's hurting a lot of the high school players. I mean, unless you like a 4 or 5 star recruit coming out of high school, a lot of these guys that's in high school, colleges are passing over those 18-year-olds for a guy that's 22 years old that's played for 4 years and still have 2 years of eligibility left because he graduated from his respective institution. Like, colleges are passing over those guys they're passing over the 18-year-old guy that's maybe a 2 or 3 star or whatever for a 22-year-old that has 4 years of college experience and 2 years of eligibility left. And I mean, it's kind of like a different world we live in. And the crazy thing about it was yesterday I was on X, formerly known as Twitter. There was this player he's played 6 years. This was his last year eligibility, but early in the season he got hurt and he was out for the rest of the year. The NCAA granted him a 7-year eligibility. And I'm like, bro, you know what kind of competitive advantage someone like him has over your average 18-year-old? So I'm like, bro, like it's getting to a point. It's like bizarro land, and just COVID. It just kind of completely changed the landscape
The
of college
landscape,
football.
yes, sir.
And I mean, like I said, you got guys that's gonna be like 5th, 6th-year seniors, bro. It's a crazy world out here nowadays,
Yes. It is. Joe, I definitely want to hear you being a former NCAA football athlete, Division I athlete. What's your opinion on this?
Well, I have it like in two sections. So regarding the eligibility thing, I saw some players like they're like an 8th year senior. I'm like, wait a minute, that can't be right. But but shit, there's some guys who was a freshman in 2017 and they still playing. Whether they got hurt twice, 2 seasons in the injuries and gray shirt, red shirt, and then COVID add 2 years. I'm like, well, damn, I mean, you really an adult. You, you're an adult in college. But a lot of those guys, even though they're 6th, 7th-year seniors, they don't move the needle still. If you still if you on your 7th year in college, you just on the team. What I mean, you're not like a world changer, you're not somebody, you're not a superstar, you're on the team at that point. And everybody has a right to live out their dream, but eventually all these extra 2 year guys from COVID, they're gonna wash out at some point. It's like a phenomenon now, but at some point it's gonna wash out. Even JJ Watt talked about it on Twitter. Like college supposed to be for 4 or 5 years. When I was playing, 4 or 5 years and that's it. You had your gray shirt, your red shirt, and if you got hurt, you might have a medical red shirt, but that's about it. You're out 4 or 5 years. And if you a dog, you'll be in the NFL in 3. So it's see a 27, 28-year-old in college, it's definitely different compared to what we're used to, but all these guys will wash out in a couple of years and it won't be a topic no more anyway. But then we're going to transfer portal. I love the portal, because nobody had an issue with none of the coaches when they can dip out whenever they want to, because as a player, you have a coach sit on your couch with your mama and daddy that sell you all this stuff and and we're gonna be here, we're gonna do this together, and we gonna do this and then the coach dip out, now you stuck unless you go down to a D2 school, you can play right away. I mean, how many schools has Lane Kiffin been to?
Yeah, but you could also even not if D2, like I said, you could transfer at the time it was 1AA, but it's
Yeah,
FBS now. So that's what a lot of players was doing. That's why there was so many players leaving LSU and coming to Southern.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, like Lane Kiffin's been what, Alabama? He's been to USC. Now he's at Ole Miss. When he had
Oh,
somewhere else
yeah.
beforehand. Shit, you even had Nick
Tennessee.
Saban go, huh?
He was at Tennessee.
Tennessee. I mean, he's been at several schools. How many players has he promised that he gonna stand there and build a program, and nobody had an issue with it? So, and then we even had Nick Saban. He literally left mid NFL season because he couldn't take it no more. So we got players now. This is all new, 1 or 2 years. Now I think that should implement some rules to make things straighten up a little bit. I don't have no issue with that. But first time players are doing it now. Everybody's in an uproar. But when coaches do it, there was no regulation on coaches dipping out whenever they want to. So I'm glad the players can explore their options. And able to try to see different things. So
I agree.
I, I don't,
I
I,
definitely
I
agree.
don't have an issue with it because nobody had an issue with the coaches doing
Oh
it.
no,
So
I don't know on your end, Joe, but I know on our end that definitely was a hot topic issue about just coaches just like leaving and making all these promises to these young men, like you said, and they just leaving them high and dry, and you stuck. So yeah, we like the aspect of it where it kind of gives the players more freedom and flexibility in that regard. So that's definitely one thing we like in that regard, but But I don't know if this was prevalent in your day, but you right from the standpoint of these 6 and 7 year guys. Because bro, I'm not even gonna lie. I mean, even in Southern, like in the old players, they had like another year eligibility left, and they graduated from college because they figured, well, hey, I'm not gonna make it to the NFL. I just might as well start my life. I mean, was that the case in your day? If a guy was like a graduating in 4 years, he had another year eligibility left, he just leave that last year eligibility on the table, or what?
Shit, I have a family friend. He's playing. He's pretty much like my godson. He's playing, I think D2 right now. He has another year of eligibility left. He said, "No, I'm not gonna play. I'm gonna start get my life together and get go for." He's looking at getting his masters. So I know somebody doing that right now. But yeah, back in my
Ain't nothing
day,
wrong with that.
yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that at all. I mean, like back in my day,
Mm-hmm.
you just played out all your eligibility till you had nothing left, and then some of them stayed and been assistant coaches on the team. Some may ask, "Hey, coach, can I help out as a GA? You can pay for my masters or something like that." Some players did that, but normally everybody just played out their eligibility until they left. You know what I
Right.
mean? So there's nobody really trying to hang around. You kind of knew where you were at a point. So
Man, well spoken, well spoken. Before I go to you, JB, I'm gonna read some comments in the chat. He said, Jay Barr said, "Yeah, you are welcome, coach. You are welcome, family." Um, Jay the Six said, "Yeah, Commanders whole coaching staff should be fired. Facts. Scott
damn.
Fitterer is hopefully fired. Arthur Smith, Goose is cooked, especially after that outburst to Dennis Allen. Yeah, he gone.
Yeah.
And Washington should win it." Coach, what did you think about Arthur Smith yelling at your coach Dennis Allen, even though um your fan base been yelling at him all season?
Yeah,
What
I
you think?
mean, of course, it was the high button issue was the fact that the Falcons felt like the Saints ran the score up on him, and right before we came on to this show, my cousin Rudy and I, we had a show today, like right before this show, and basically, his mindset was, and I kind of feel the same way. It's one thing, I've been a middle school coach, high school coach, where I done been on teams and coach teams where we got our wig pushed back, we push the other team wig back. But once you get to the NFL, y'all all paid professionals. So, like Rudy
Hmm.
was saying, like, hey, all right, hey, you feel like we running the score up? It's y'all job to stop us. Y'all getting paid
Hmm.
just like the coaches on our staff getting paid, y'all players getting paid, y'all stop us. Now, if it would have been a middle school team or a high school team or even a college team where you got maybe like Southern playing against Florida Memorial or LSU playing against Southern, where there's a huge gap in competition, that's understandable. You don't run a score up on a lower level team. That's one thing. But hell, you in the NFL. Y'all get paid.
Shit,
So hey, get a goddamn stop. So as far as I'm concerned, man, that's some broad type stuff. Yeah, they need to get him out of there.
shit. To add to your point, shit. What was it? The LA was it the Georgia Florida State game? That third string Georgia was still balling on them. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, without question.
you know what I mean? So again, like my coach always told me, shit. Everybody on scholarship out here. So everybody in the NFL, y'all get a game check. Everybody get paid. So you don't like them scoring on you? God damn it, do something about it. You know what I mean? Don't get. I mean, like it's. Don't get mad because you got your ass whooped.
Yeah,
You got
and,
out coached and your team got outplayed.
and,
You talking about one play? You talking about one play we did this? How about the rest of the game? You mad about that one play about something called tradition and you don't do that? And what about the rest of the game though?
yeah, and that's the crazy thing to me. But from a coaching standpoint, like I said, I coached a basketball game where we was losing 87-7. The other coach wouldn't back off the press. I coached a football game where the other team beat us 55-0. Of course, there's a huge gap on those levels. Last year, Southern beat Florida Memorial 86-0, and then the next week, LSU beat them 65-17. So those things happen on a lower levels. But you're in the NFL, man, look, bro, we don't want no excuses. Even when they talked about when the Miami Dolphins scored 70 points on the Denver Broncos. We was like, man, dude, it's hard to score 70 points on pro level on Madden. How the hell you let a NFL team score 70 points on you?
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, bro, you just got to get a stop. Like, we don't want to hear that BS.
Yeah.
I agree. With
So in the lower levels, they call it the mercy rule. You know what I mean? So in NFL, ain't no mercy in the NFL. Y'all get paid.
Ain't no mercy.
Ain't no mercy rule. Yeah.
And you right, Big Joe, because the school I played for, I talked about, I coached against him, but when we was in school, not so much the head coach, but the volunteer coach, he kind of was like over everything. He would just run the score up. And then after a certain amount of years, after we left middle school and we was at Assumption High, like, oh no, you couldn't run it up. Like after a certain point, you can't throw the ball no more. You got to take all your starters out and you just got to run the ball on offense. You couldn't pass it. But there's no such rules in the NFL. I don't care if we beat y'all 40-0. If we just drop back pointed every play and got 2-3 minutes left in the game, what the hell stop us then? You know what I'm saying?
You're right. And that's what I'm about to talk about, JDC. He say DJ Ugalele on the Seminoles and Tallulah in the portal is interesting. Yes. I definitely want to hear JB point. What you think about DJ going back to the ACC, JB? He going to be with Florida State. What's your opinion?
That could work if they focus on the run game, because he got a Cam Newton game. You know what I'm saying? He built like 6'5", 6'4".
Yeah, you ain't saying he can run like them.
No, meaning when I say he got the Cam Newton game, I'm not saying like he's like Cam. I'm saying he's big body, he a bruiser, like kind of quarterback. He got a strong arm. He's not he. Go ahead, Joe.
Say Ben Roethlisberger then, shit. Say Cam Newton now.
That's what I was
Ben Roethlisberger.
I'm not even gonna lie.
Say Brock Osweiler or something,
Not Brock. No, I'm not gonna do him like that now. Brock Osweiler now. Come on now. I get what you're saying.
But Big Ben sound like a more of an accurate.
Big Ben is accurate. Yeah, I can see. I guess that's a lazy comparison because, but DJ, man, I was just saying that Cam Newton, because you got to watch him how he play in high school. I remember they had it on Netflix. They had like they showed all the high school 5-stars, and they showed him, and he was running over people in high school. So that's why I called him that. But then for the Seminoles, right? I would be interested how they are game plan what offense he's gonna run for the Seminoles, because this is Jordan Travis' last season?
No, he gone. I think he a senior, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
I just was about to ask that question, but I'm almost certain due to COVID, they might give him another extra year, because like we said, we got players now that's like this their 7th year in college, and I'm like, damn, like how long you plan on staying in college?
So who knows, man? Because he, like I said, he'll run your linebackers over and your safeties. And I know Florida State stay with running backs. So that's gonna be interesting. So as for the transfer discussion, man, Coach and Big Joe, man, they pretty much summed it out. And me and you discussed it this weekend. I don't give a damn about people complaining about these kids making choices of where they want to go. Cause like the brother said, Coach has been doing that for years. So, there's no more, and I know we said this on this show before. There's no more going to be a 2000-2001 Miami Hurricane team. There's no more going to be teams like that are just stacked. Them Bama's teams in the early, in the
2010,
or the Florida team where you had Hernandez and Tebow and Spikes and Yeah,
T-Boy and
man.
Cam Newton. When Cam
Yeah,
Newton was
yeah,
back up and all that. Yeah.
yeah.
Before he transferred to Auburn. There's no more. So those guys like that, for example, Willis McGahee sit behind Edric James. Willis McGahee gonna go to Minnesota or somewhere.
Clinton Portis
You know
too.
what I'm saying?
Clinton
Clinton
Portis.
Portis.
Then Frank Gore as a freshman coming in the next year. Then
You know what I'm
Najee
saying?
Davenport, man.
These
Tell 'em,
Man, don't forget Sean Taylor. Yeah.
Sean Taylor. We were
Yeah,
talking about the running back room, but yeah, you right. Sean Taylor, Ed Reed, Andre
Hey.
Rose.
Brian McKinney. And then you
You
had
see-
Kellen Winslow to stick him behind Jeremy Shockey.
Y'all making my point.
Oh,
Them
Jeremy
cats ain't
Shockey.
gonna-
Oh my
Mhm.
man, but I wanted to go to Miami just for because of those teams, those Miami
Then Bubba,
teams. They all
then
had.
you got Bubba Franks. I think Jimmy
Oh
Shockey
my God!
behind Bubba Franks.
Shout out to Bubba Franks, man. Willis McGahee.
See, y'all brothers making my point. Them cats ain't gonna sit back and ride the bench. Not these cats today. See, back in the day, it's about winning the championship.
Well,
Today
not
is
only,
about
not only that, JB, but back in those days, players were like willing to wait their turn.
wait their turn.
I mean, the only way you might transfer is if you're a senior and you're not gonna play. You're like, hey, this is my senior year, I won't play. I'm gonna transfer to a lower level program. That's how Southern got some of those players back in the gap. But nowadays, man, if these dudes not starting as a freshman, and these dudes ready to hit the portal. I mean, you don't have days where you got Warwick done at Florida State and you got Rock Preston behind him. And he said, guess what? I just won't be on Florida State to win. And nowadays, bro, Rock Preston to transfer to somewhere else like Auburn, Alabama, wherever,
Right. And eventually, and the downside of what we're talking about, you're going to have a couple of brothers in there that probably should have stayed their ass where they was. You know what I'm saying? But, and the whole, the group of it and all, I think it's a good idea. Because I think teams like Bama, as we can see, Bama is just not going to beat up on everybody. You see what I'm saying? Because now those teams, it's more even out as far as talent now.
In the FBS, yeah, you're right.
Well, I ain't gonna lie, no,
I'm sorry, y'all. I just want to update y'all on Jordan Travis. I ain't know this. Jordan Travis spent 1 year at Louisville, and he spent 5 seasons at Florida State. So,
Dang.
so yeah, he's a senior. So he's out of there.
But like you were saying, bro, I'm not gonna lie. We right from the standpoint of the U. That 01 team, probably the greatest college football team ever. But I'm not gonna lie, as good as that Joe Burrow led LSU team that won the national championship, I didn't even think you would have a team. I mean, of course, they wasn't on the U level, but that'll even get even in that same realm. I mean, of course, they wasn't as loaded as that team that was because you got NFL Hall of Famers that were backups on that team. But at the same token, if you'd have told me like that Joe Burrow led team that won the national championship, if you told me they was gonna be as good as they were, I would have never thought we'd get a college team to be that good at this point, the way the current landscape is in college football,
But here's the thing, right? Look at it like this. I think Coach Prime talks about it. Look at it as everybody digging in, hopping in free agency. So there's going to be players that want to leave, right? And then there's going to be players you get from the portal from other schools, right? I know my Tar Heels are doing the same thing. Mac Brown, just got finished talking about all the players just leaving because they didn't get to play or don't want to play or whatever reason. And the good side of it is you're going to get a chance of maybe strengthening your a position. I know we're looking for some better offensive linemen. You know what I'm saying? And some offensive linemen that are pretty good offensive linemen that probably didn't get to start because he was behind a 5-star or somebody that's got their eyes in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? he get to show his, show some tape with my Tar Heels, or LSU. You know what I'm saying? And that same thing with the LSU coach. Y'all was struggling with D line or linebackers on that defense. You know what I'm saying? Y'all coaches, if they do what they're supposed to do, can grab some of these kids who could play ball and play good defenses, but didn't get a chance for whatever reason. Hey, come be a part of our legacy out here in LSU. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't
So
gonna lie, bro. I think it's gonna be hard for LSU to get back to where they were. I think the NIL money done completely changed the game. Also, I don't think you
yeah,
ever see those kind of LSU
Yeah, it
defenses
has.
with, like Patrick Peterson and Chad Lively and Glenn Dorsey. I don't think they're gonna ever get back to that caliber defense again.
you right.
But
I agree.
what's also we have to look at it with the portal. Everybody's talking about players jumping and leaving and all that kind of
Somebody got
stuff, but
feedback in the background. I think it's you, JB. Go ahead, Joe. I'm sorry.
no, you good. No, no, y'all brothers good. They talk about players leaving, but what about the players who don't leave? What about the players that say, "Man, I'm transferring. I'm out of here. I'm sick of this shit." They put their name in the portal and don't nothing happen, and they don't get no motion. Now they got to come back to that team. You were just trying to leave, and we know coaches can be vindictive now. You can
They can
jump in
be
that
very
portal.
vindictive.
You can jump in that portal. You don't get no motion and try to come back. You're gonna get shitted on, or they might not even allow you to come back. Because I believe once you jump in the portal, you pretty much saying I'm leaving. So they might not even allow you to come back. So the portal is definitely a gamble. You gotta be sure that you that dog. And also with players leaving, this is when it comes down to recruiting and coaching. If your players believe in your philosophy and believe in that, what, this is a place I need to be at, they'll stay. Again, a lot of coaches out here ain't shit. They say a lot of stuff and they don't keep their word. And a lot of these coaches say that they build character and they build men, and we know a lot of that bullshit. I'll come here and we'll help you out with your academics. Y'all say that because y'all get paid for every player that graduates. Every player that
Speaking of
graduates, the
that,
head coach get 15, 20,000 for every kid that graduates. So when they say, "Oh, we have a 97, 98% graduation rate," yeah, because you get paid, and also the higher your rate is, the more scholarships you get. So let's not act like y'all doing it because y'all care about education. Y'all care about education, then I wouldn't be working out in the morning, plus doing another workout, plus also going to practice. Then we got meetings in the evening. What am I gonna say? So but we care about
right,
education. But
right.
yeah, with the portal, it's about, can you hold your players there? Can you develop these players, and can they believe in your philosophy? If you can do that, then that shows you how much of a coach you are. So
That's such an excellent point, bro. Because Jared and I have this discussion all the time. Because we talk about players, just using Southern for an example. We always talk about, hey, you got to have a soft spot to land if you jump in that portal. Because guess what? Bashawn McCray jumped in the portal and he never found a landing spot.
Never.
Whereas you got to look at somebody like a Jordan Lewis. He led the FCS in sacks. He jumped in the portal, but I guess he had, at Southern he had a lot of sacks. But a lot of these other schools looking at him like, dude, you an undersized linebacker. You getting all these sacks, but whatever. So when Coach Dooley came, he jumped in the portal. He really didn't get no motion, and he came back. I think Dooley kind of tried to, was saying he was having issues with him in spring practice or whatever, but he was such a dog, he couldn't just do him dirty. And the same thing this year. What Jordan Lewis was at that time, Kelby Givens was this past year. Once they got rid of Coach Dooley, Givens jumped in the portal. UTSA was looking at him. A couple other schools were looking at him. But, they showed interest in him, but they never made him no offer. So what he had to do? He had to jump back. Hey, I'm coming back to Southern. He was such a good player. You can't say, you know what, we don't want you back. He led your team in sacks. So what you going to do? You don't have no choice but to take him back. I mean, you already got enough holes on your defense because you got like 2 players that's going to the NFL. Well, 3 players declared for the NFL. 1 player left that's a senior that's going to go to the University of Houston from Southern. So, you already got enough holes to fill. You can't tell him, hey, You are leading pass rusher. You are leading sacker. Saying we feel players since you said you want to jump in the portal. We're not going to take you back. They don't have no choice but to take him back, you know.
That's true. That's true. Um, salute to brother Brent Fox. He said, "Dang, y'all just now got back to the phone. Salute, brothers and LDBC family. Salute, man. Salute.
Salute, brother Brent.
If you want to jump on the panel, I sent you the link, brother. Living big with Big Reg and Jada Six talking. Hey, JB, Jada Six said DJ couldn't lead Dust to a marble floor. He is talented, but if it ain't clicked by now, I don't know if he can hang with Florida State type competition if he couldn't do it when he was on Clemson.
But here's the thing though. Clemson did worse with number 2, Klubnik, Cade Klubnik.
Yeah,
I know he went to Westlake here in Texas.
yeah.
They did. I mean, I think it had something to do with like I had the same issue with Bama, where they was trying to make Jalen Milroe into a pocket quarterback or run an offense where he utilizes his arm instead of his legs. And that's the same thing I saw with when DJ was in Clemson, right? They tried to make him throw all these passes in windows, and that's not his skill set. He's that type of quarterback where he leans, you run like some power QB runs, RPOs. And
especially if you need 1 or 2 yards to get the first down. Yeah,
he'll just lean on your ass. He'll just lean on your ass to get a couple of yards. He's not a Cade Klubnik. He's not a Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So, and this is what we were talking about earlier. Coaches doing lazy. Not just lazy coaching, not changing their philosophy and putting their best plays in position to succeed. I got this philosophy, I'm running it, and if you can't do it, then you're just not going to be a part of the team. And your ass also going to lose. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
And like you said, he had some good, not a great season, but he had a good season with Oregon State.
It was okay.
But I see what Jada Six saying. Like he's not somebody that you're gonna rely on him throwing the ball on.
No, not at all. There were some throws he did. DJ man was like, man, why would you throw that? But
I literally thought that the Washington State quarterback was going to be at Florida State. I thought that was going to happen, but I would like to see that. But I guess he's going to stay at Washington State.
Yeah, Cameron Ward was a beast.
He can throw. He can throw, not throw. He can throw. You dig what I'm saying? So,
I don't know
he
why
go
he
to Florida State.
It's over.
Huh?
DJ mean. Go ahead, JB.
No, the reason why I'm gonna be real with y'all. Let me stop being fake. I'm saying that because my weak ass UNC Tar Heels probably now have a chance to beat the Clemson. Now, I like DJ. I followed him in high school, but I know we can beat him. But if that boy, you just gave me nightmares. If that boy Ward came over and went to Florida State.
That was what they were saying. It was between DJ and Ward from Florida State, and I see they pick DJ. Or I don't know. Or maybe maybe Washington State kicked them a little more bread. I've been to Pullman, Washington. Ain't shit there. The population is 25,000, 22,000 is students and faculty. There is nothing in Pullman, Washington. I have been there twice. So if you want to stay at Pullman, they probably kicked them a little extra. You know what I mean? So
since you put it like that, they probably paid them. They probably, send some cheese over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But this
I
is a
mean,
new guy.
they got one Denny's over there. You dig what I'm saying?
Damn.
I'm telling brothers, I have been there. I was when Coach Dover was there. I was recruited to go there. I've been to the spring game, recruiting trips. There is nothing in Pullman. You literally have to fly into Spokane, where Gonzaga is. Then you got to drive about an hour and 10 minutes to go to Pullman. Nothing there. And literally, Washington State is maybe about 10 minutes away from the University of Idaho. So there's nothing there. So
Man, you heard it here from an actual former D1 football player, folks. But
shout out to Coach Walker, who's a D-line coach there. He's a good brother. He played Canadian football. Canadian football legend. Shout out to Coach Walker.
okay, shout out to Coach Walker.
Shout out to Coach Walker.
But something interesting you said a few minutes ago, Big Joe. You was going over coaches not holding their keeping their promises or holding their players accountable. Well, that's not the case with the player on the left. You hear, or Colorado Bishop Thomas. That was he was a transfer from Florida State, defensive lineman. He athletic enough to play the 3 technique and nose. He can play anywhere. But he has been suspended indefinitely by Coach Prime. There's no telling if he's gonna be back with the program or how long. But as of now, he's suspended. So I found that interesting. The reason why, because a lot of people say that I heard a lot of people say the Coach Prime detractors or haters will say he's too friendly with his players and buddy with him, and he don't hold them accountable. There you go. And he liked this kid. So I don't know what this Negro did.
Well, I know Coach Prime. Coach Prime not only a football coach, he's the leader of men. He pours into these young boys. He's not just a football coach. He's not gonna sit there and lie to you. If he telling you ain't shit, he's literally telling you ain't shit. You know what I mean? So he's trying to like he tell the parents, bring your son to me, I'll change him from a boy to a man. That's what he's doing. A lot of these players, they go through growing pains. A lot of these players didn't have guidance growing up. A lot of these players, the coaches were the mentors and all that kind of stuff. And a lot of these players can't get by just on the athletic ability without changing their behavior. Coach Prime ain't going for that. Coach Prime was like, look, we want you here, but if you're not abiding by the rules, I don't care how talented you are. Negro, you're not playing. Especially now with the portal now, Negro, you can be replaced. If you don't like it here, you can go and try your bullshit somewhere else. But you a D lineman, I'm bringing in Warren Sapp. Who else is going to be a better coach anywhere else than a Hall of Fame D lineman? So I believe there was a cornerback for like a freshman cornerback for Buffalo who they kept asking about him and like asking about him. I forgot his name, but Prime was saying until he abides by the rules, he's not playing. So that's just the kind of man that he is. So and a lot of parents and everybody there respect him because he's doing what he's saying he's going to do. You know what I mean? This is no different than any other organization, any other program for Alabama, anywhere else. If you're not going to abide by any of the team rules, you ain't going to be there. You know, so shout out to Prime.
Shout out to Prime. JB, what you think?
I second what Big Joe Town was saying, man. Like some coaches don't give a damn if you 5-star, 6-star, 10-star. If you don't do what they say, and they're not telling you to do anything crazy, they're just telling you to abide by the rules. And you think just because I don't know what he's thinking, whatever you think you can do it, then your ass need to sit at home and realize the threat of everything that you work for. If you wanted to go in the NFL, or you just want to build your brand at school, or your resume is at school, get your degree, you need to sit at home and have the threat of that being taken away, so you can, you know, change. And I'm a fan of Coach Prime. I love how he to talks to his players and his coaches. He remind me of all the coaches I had in my life, um, and all the sports I played. They're not gonna do a lot of tongue wrestling with you. They're not gonna keep telling you, or if they gotta keep telling you, you're just not gonna play. Go sit
Pause.
on that bench, my boy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, um, and like you said, and you brought up that cornerback, that cornerback. I think it was number one. He was not doing what he was supposed to do,
Cormani
and
McClain.
right, and coach, and he's a good corner, but coach didn't allow him to play for a couple of games because he wasn't doing what he was supposed to do. So, I mean, we just need more coaches like it. And I'm actually excited where the Colorado Buffs go from here. I know Prime has been successful at every level he coached, from high school to college with Jackson State. He had a down year with and with Colorado his first year, but that's I mean, I'm looking at a perspective is the team last year, or the year before last, excuse me, won only one game, and he's trying to build a chemistry. He's trying to bring a winning atmosphere. So I can't wait see what
All
they
right.
look like this year.
All right. JB, what you think? I mean, excuse me, JB. Coach 67 Sports TV, what you think?
I think it's excellent. Excuse me. Excellent analysis by both gentlemen. I think so many instances, when these players are blue chip caliber players, 4-star, 5-star caliber players, they used to getting away with so much stuff during the course of their young life. They might have been a star their entire life. They used to just kind of doing whatever they want. I know not so much from a Southern standpoint because, HBCUs, you really can't get away with murder like you get away with at the Power Fives and PWI schools. But I know LSU in particular, they had one player, his name was Cecil Collins, he got in so much trouble. He probably would have won the Heisman Trophy had he stayed his behind out of trouble, but they ended up kicking him out of school. He ended up going to a lower level school, McNeese State. And even Ryan Perrilloux, there was this quarterback from East St. John, his name was Ryan Perrilloux. He was so talented. He probably would have been a first round pick in the NFL. Probably would have been a Heisman Trophy caliber type quarterback too. He was so used to getting away with all kind of stuff all throughout his high school years or whatever the case may be. So a lot of times these guys are immature. They just been like coddled superstar athletes their entire lives. Maybe they're just not used to, hearing no. In some instances, if somebody would have held them accountable while they were younger, then maybe they wouldn't be in the situation they're winning. Like even like Cecil Collins. Cecil Collins got to the Miami Dolphins. He still got in trouble. He ended up, going to prison. So a lot of times these guys, they might have mental health issues, or maybe more than anything, they just never been told no. They just been able to get away with whatever they've been doing their entire lives, So I'm glad to see, they try to discredit Coach Prime in so many ways. I'm glad that he's standing on the square and he's showing them, like Big Joe was saying, that he's not just a good head coach, but he's a leader of young men.
Okay. Great feedback, y'all. Great feedback. Okay, we're going to go into our last. And Picasso, that's high praise with Coach Prime. I think he has potential to get on Jimmy Johnson level as a coach. I agree, but he gotta continue to try to turn that Colorado program around the best he can.
And
Uh,
the piggyback on what Coach was saying, the 5-star mentality. You know, you
hmm
have a lot of players who've been told that you're the next such and such since they were in middle school. You know, you've been fed into your psychosis that man, now I'm the next Warren Sapp. I'm the next Randy Moss. I'm the next Dion, or I'm the next whatever. So you carry that with you all the way through your high school years. You might have been a mess around in high school. You might have been doing some crazy stuff, and they overlook it because they winning championships or getting the school notoriety or whatever. You know, so they overlook all that kind of stuff. So then you get all these coaches loving you, and you're going to all these trips, and you're getting, little handshakes. They setting up threesomes for you. They're doing all type of stuff. They treating you like you God. They treating you like you a king. So then you kind of feel like you can do whatever you want until you get to a program. Now,
hmm
back in the day, a lot of the programs used to be able to overlook stuff. My brother played at the University of Nebraska when they had Tommy Frazier, Tom Osborne, all of them. A lot of guys on that team was doing some crazy, wild stuff. But they all won a national championship, so that shit got overlooked. But now in this day and age of social media, you can't hide a lot of those things these players are doing now because they'll put them on the front page of Twitter or everywhere else as soon as possible. But with that mentality, a coach like Prime, who's played at the highest level, played as a star in Florida State, won Super Bowls, was a Hall of Famer, he ain't putting up with that junk, no matter how good you think you are. So a lot of time those 5-star players, they don't work good with a coach Prime. There's a lot of 5-star players who supposed to be the best and they get even washed out of playing college ball. There's a lot of players like that. So, so it's if you want to be there, he'll change. If you don't want to be there, there'll be another 5-star next year. No biggie.
Good perspective. And before we move, we're going to talk about what we think about the playoffs. Um, Joe, was there players that you just sat back and watched in the locker room? It hit them like, damn, I was good in high school where I was a man, but damn, I gotta work for it now. I'm not as good as I thought I was, and they just go over by the wayside. Did you just sit back and did you see that from other players?
Oh yeah, I've seen that happen to other players and shit. That happened to me. I mean,
Wow.
every player, no matter where you're the man at where you're from.
Yeah.
You're whatever, 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 all this, all that. Your mama love you, daddy love you, everybody love you. And then when you go to a team to where everybody's that player, you know, now now the coach has got you there. All that living room talk don't mean nothing now. Now you gotta
Right.
earn your spot. Now you gotta earn your keep. So the cream always rises to the top. My biggest thing was I didn't play for a whole year. I sat out a year because North Carolina told me don't play, because we don't want nobody to recruit you. So I didn't play for a whole year. So that jacked me up, you know. So which is why I can relate to Deontay Wilder. If you're not
Mm.
active enough and you're not handling your business, sit on your P's and Q's, the instincts kind of leave you. Your instincts, your senses, and your overall feel of the game kind of leaves you. I mean, I played D tackle and my my get off just wasn't it. I'm like, what happened to my get off? Or like
Mm.
you see something, but your body just won't move because you've been inactive. So it happened to me, and I've seen it happen to a lot of players. So you in college, you got 4-star, 5-star all over the place. You have to prove your worth. You got some players who'll be like, man, I'm a 5-star. He ain't nobody. But next thing you know, that nobody starting because he's putting that work in. He's not just relying on his talent. He's actually in the film room. He's putting in extra reps with the strength coach. He's out there running extra wind sprints and handling business. While you out there smashing chicks and getting drunk, showing up to 6 a.m. workouts puking, he's getting his rest. So
Mm,
all that kind of plays, all that kind of plays into it.
man, see, that's why I have former players like you on the show to just give people the perspective from that actually with a lot to this day what players are going through, man. Oh, you
Yeah.
backstage. Oh no. Let me see. Let me see my brother Brent. I gotta find the slide down.
Okay, there I go.
There you go. All right, I want to welcome everybody. My brother, another LDBC brother, also another up and coming content creator, Brent Fox. What's going on?
Hey, y'all. Thank y'all again for having me on. I appreciate it.
What's good, brother Brent?
What's
Brother
that?
Brent, what's going on, brother?
What's up?
I see you, Brent. I see you got on that bullshit though.
Oh, it's okay. Oh, hey, that's all right. Thank y'all for sitting half your team. I appreciate that.
No, but all serious, man. Shout out to Mike Tomlin.
Hell
Some of
yeah.
y'all fan base was trying to say it was time, but he's been over 500 as far as winning seasons for your Steelers. So even though I'm a Baltimore Ravens fan and I don't like the Steelers, I gotta take my hat off to that brother Mike Tomlin. So y'all did
Absolutely.
what y'all was supposed to last night.
Yeah,
Uh,
Bill Belichick is out here winning 4 games.
mhm. Yeah, much
You know,
appreciated, though, man. Much
Hey
appreciated.
JB, that's static coming from you, man. You need to
I'm
mute
sorry.
something on your end.
And coach, the piggyback coach and Jared, the piggyback on what we're talking about with the players, like them changing, like what they're saying. The perfect name that shows this is Noel Devine.
Mm,
Noel Devine was a dog in high school. His highlight
Yes, he
tape
yeah,
was.
is legendary. I mean,
yeah,
when I was in junior college, we used to watch that mug on repeat. His
boy,
highlight tape was legendary. But
when
then
I,
when he went to West Virginia, where was it at?
Mm.
So
he
a
was
lot
kind
of
of like,
it. I mean, I thought he was an edge Reggie Bush or better, but when you get to college, you got to put it all together, all of it. Your
yeah,
talent only can get you so far. You have to put it all together. And a lot of times, these kids have a hard time growing up in college. It now, like when you're in high school, you're playing against guys who are not even going to play in the JUCO level. So you can dog them out all day long. You ain't even got to practice. You can dog them out all day long. But then when you get to college, and again, like Coach said, hey man, everybody on scholarship. So now you got to prove your worth, play your keep, and you got to grow up. And a lot of them have a hard time with that.
That's
yes,
crazy,
sir.
man.
Because yeah, once you get over there, like you said earlier, man, once you get in college, it's like you might have been a man where you was at, but everybody's man where they was at. You average now. And for most, including myself, I had a difficult time dealing with that.
Oh, I hear you. I can honestly say me getting the wrestling scholarship. When I went to college my freshman year, I experienced that. So, um, I'm there. I'm with y'all, man. Yeah, I
Mm,
ain't lying. Uh, but I'm glad Brent you got on the panel just in time. Um, we're gonna go talk about the playoff picture now. Um,
okay.
uh, unfortunately, Coach Saints ain't make it. So I don't know if I'm gonna let Coach talk about it. I'm just playing.
No, I don't feel bad about them not making it, bro. Truthfully speaking, as a coach, I used to tell my players all the time, look, we don't want to put ourselves in a position where we have to rely on another team for us to get in. When we
Mm-hmm.
control our own destiny, we need to take care of our business. So
Right.
the comeback loss to the Green Bay Packers, the loss to the LA Rams, like those type of losses come back to bite you in your ass, and it did.
Yeah, it
So
did.
as far as I'm concerned, the only thing I regret in the entire situation is the fact that they won the day, not have a winning record, even though they didn't make the playoffs. So they're gonna use that to justify keeping Dennis Allen as opposed to getting his ass out of there. As far as
Oh
I'm
yeah, he need to
concerned,
go.
since
Fuck
they
all
didn't
that.
make the playoffs, I figure you ought to fire his ass. That's just my personal opinion, but I
I
already
agree.
know how they're gonna roll. They're not gonna get rid of him. And
Wow.
I think they should. That's my personal opinion. So I don't feel bad for them not making it. I mean, they were in a position where they could have controlled their own destiny. They knew if they won out, they was gonna make it, but they didn't beat the Rams. So as far as I'm concerned, they put themselves in the situation they're in.
Well, Coach, even though your Saints ain't make it, I still want to hear your perspective on uh the playoff picture that we currently have in front of us. So, starting, so what we have here starting for wild card, we have the Browns and the Texans. Who y'all got on that game? Starting with Brent.
Is it at Cleveland or at Houston? Is it at
Houston is at the bottom, so I think it's at Houston.
Is it at Houston?
I believe so.
As good as the
It can't
Browns.
be.
Uh-oh.
Cleveland is the highest seed, ain't they? Or they fight? Oh, you right there. Let me shut up.
I think that
Yep, at Houston.
yeah, they at Houston. Okay, so I think that Houston may actually get them with the momentum that they have, man. They may actually upset Cleveland and beat them. I think that Stroud has played with too much momentum, man. And I really think that that's probably going to carry over. He's having a really special season.
Oh, and thank you. And I that's a good perspective, Brent. And thank you, Living Big with Big Reg. This is not this is hypothetical. This is not actual set by the NFL. This is I just pictured it because this is if they would lock everybody up, all the team, the playoffs up right now. This who be playing who. So we're just speaking hypothetically.
Oh, okay.
So, but what I tell you is factual. My Ravens do have a bye.
Yeah,
So
we
we have
know.
to wait on. And so do the
That's right.
49ers.
That's right. You tell them we do know what it is. Go ahead and let them know.
And so do the Niners in the NFC. So, J6 at Cleveland should beat the Texans, but Stroud has so much poise and confidence that I can't count them out. Yeah, you can't. But the Browns have been balling, especially on the defense side of the ball. But hypothetical matchup, Brent, Steelers versus Dolphins. I want a honest. Of course, I know you're a Steelers fan. But
I'm gonna give you an honest assessment. Okay. In all likelihood, we probably would not be able to win that game. However, if the defense is actually able to stop the perimeter runs, if everybody kind of just stays in their gap like they're supposed to, I think that we could probably give Miami problems. I think if we make Tua try to win the game for them, we may be able to pull out an upset. But in all likelihood, Miami should win.
Okay. Everybody else agree with that?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think too much Tyreek Hill, too much Jalen Waddle. Yeah, I'll go with the Dolphins on that one.
Okay. Big Joe?
Oh man. Yeah, the Dolphins should win that game for sure. That should be the only reason why they should win that game is due to the Pittsburgh's offense inability to be able to do anything. Now the Dolphins have been struggling against any team over 500. And the Steelers are over 500. They are a tough team, but if the Dolphins have any offensive explosion, there's no way the Pittsburgh can keep up. So the Pittsburgh, um, you know, Dolphins should win that game.
My bad. I skipped y'all when it came to the hypothetical matchup with the Browns and the Texans.
Oh,
Coach JB, and Joe, who y'all got in that potential matchup if it happens?
uh,
No,
I
Deshaun
said,
Watson. I say I definitely go with the Texans without Deshaun Watson.
going with the black quarterback. Let's go. Black quarterback and black head coach. Let's go, Texans.
I'm rooting for the Texans too. I'm rooting for the
I think
Texans too.
I think Joe Flacco has been playing good. Joe Flacco, playoff Flacco is dangerous. And I know he's gonna have a chip on his shoulders playing against the Ravens. I hope Houston beat the brakes off there.
I'll never forget when he was at the Ravens. They called him Joe Fluco. Now all of a sudden now he the dad off the couch who can play. We gonna see next week. We gonna see.
We gonna see.
Cause I know Joe Fluco. That's who I know. You know what I mean? So we gonna see.
We definitely gonna see. But the potential matchup of the Bills and Chiefs, and I say those who just coming in are gonna listen to later. The reason why I say potential, if you didn't hear me, the AFC side, like Living Big Red said, isn't set yet. So this is potential. Things may change. Bills and Chiefs, starting with Coach. Who you got?
Chiefs all day. I mean, Pat Mahomes. I'm taking the with Josh Allen any day of the week.
All right, Brother Brent.
This answer may actually surprise a few people. I have the Buffalo Bills
I
upsetting
do
the
too.
Chiefs.
I do too.
I think that the Chiefs, the bottom is starting to crack with the Chiefs, with the receivers that are unreliable, and then basically all you would have to do is just try to bracket cover, Travis Kelce. But I mean, I know that's easier said than done. But if you bracket Travis Kelce and force Pat Mahomes to rely on these receivers to help win the game, then you got a pretty good shot at winning, to be honest with you. And I'm not trying to talk down on any professional, but they have proven that they're just unreliable. So I would have the Bills upsetting the Chiefs.
You took my thoughts exactly, Brent. That's why I got the Bills as well. I don't think they still Chiefs are still dangerous with Patrick Mahomes, but as far as the wide receiver core, being inconsistent, they can't just keep relying on Kelce. They can, but the one of them wide receivers gotta take the slack off Pacheco and the Kelce. JB, what you think?
I think, man, it's a tricky game but right now Buffalo Bills, it looked like they're giving the game away. Josh Allen just fumbled. If I'm going with the Chiefs, I just think that Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs is going to get it together, and Buffalo, even at their last game of the season, still not playing good football. So, we'll see. Whoever's more inconsistent is going to win. Because both teams has been inconsistent.
I agree. And Big Joe.
Man, just like JB said, both of these teams are highly inconsistent. The Chiefs' O line is not that good. the Bills D line hasn't lived up to its expectation with all the players that they have over there. The Chiefs are showing how desperately how much they miss Eric Bieniemy, and the Chiefs are literally imploding every single game. I mean, they're arguing with each other on the sidelines. I mean, they looking like R. Kelly in that Gail King interview every time you
Oh,
see him play on the sidelines. And y'all killing me with it.
Hey,
That's what they look like. Every game, somebody argue with somebody. They're not a cohesive unit right now. You know what I mean? That's what they look like to me. They arguing and swinging and crying and I'll see you in the locker room and you ain't doing this and
Pat
that's
Mahomes,
not
I'm
a
fighting
rest.
for my life.
I mean, that's what they look like. That's what you got. You got, and not to mention the wide receivers have the most drops on anybody in the NFL. Like Brother Brent said, you take away Travis Kelsey, who are the Chiefs? So, but then again, the Bills are highly inconsistent. I'm not a big fan of Josh Allen, and we know Ty and Diggs been talking about. He's sick of not getting no reps, and what are we doing here? So, but it's gonna be going to be the most consistent on that day, and this is bullshit. I gotta go with the Bills. I don't think the Chiefs gonna pull it off. I think they're reeling right now. There's too much has happened this season for them to pull it all together. There's no way these wide receivers are going to start catching the ball now. Now that it's cold and it's winter and the ball is hard and makes it even more difficult. If you want to catch the ball in September, you sure ain't gonna do it now. So at least the Bills can catch. So I'm going with the Bills.
Okay.
I don't know, Town. If you watching the game right now, Josh Allen just
Oh,
throwing it. He just
oh,
he
I'm
just
Look what Living Big with Big Red just said. Josh Allen, a turnover machine. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I say I'm watching the game right now. Obviously, Josh Allen just got sacked and fumbled the ball, took it from him. But y'all gave me two inconsistent teams, and I just feel like the
right,
Bills can beat the Chiefs.
That's fair. That's fair.
right now. Josh Allen throwing the ball like old boy off of Napoleon Dynamite.
nah,
Oh
man,
man.
not as awful, man. Not as awful.
Oh man. Shit,
I can't.
we got Patrick Mahomes been throwing interceptions too. He ain't looking like Patrick Mahomes either. That all that sidewinding throwing ain't working this year either. So the O line for the Chiefs ain't that good. Patrick Mahomes been getting sacked all year. So y'all gave me two options. So I think the Bills is just a little better than the Chiefs.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
I think so too.
Man, you done messed me up, Joe. Now I can't. Now I got this. Y'all killing me with this in my head.
That's what they look like, boy. They be arguing and crying and slinging snot about to fight each other, and you ain't shit, and your mama, and all that kind of stuff. And you got to have Chris Jones come over. Come on, dog. We better than this, man. Come on, dog. Come on, man. We better than this. We a family. We a team. No,
Right.
they ain't shit over it. That's how they look to me. Patrick Mahomes slanging. He ready to fight somebody? Come on now. And when your quarterback ready to fight somebody, y'all know you ain't got no cohesive unit now. Come on now.
Patrick Mahomes is saying, if one of you motherfuckers drop one more pass, I'm whooping somebody in.
Hey. And that's gonna come into play in the game. As a quarterback, who can you trust? If you can't trust none of your receivers, and Kelsey's been injured all year, he's not the same Kelsey. Who you gonna throw the ball to? The running back? Pacheco? You gonna throw to Pacheco all game?
Mm-hmm.
That's true. To the NFC side, Eagles and Buccaneers. Starting with JB.
I'm scared to pick the Eagles. They just got they tail tore up by the Giants today. Shout out to my boy Tyrod Taylor. One of the best backup quarterbacks in the league. I don't trust Baker Mayfield. I don't trust Baker Mayfield. I'm gonna go ahead and pick the Eagles.
Coach, who you got?
Man, that's easy. The Eagles gonna win. I know they're struggling right now, but they're my Super Bowl pick from the NFC.
Big Joe.
I'm staying on code. Going with the black quarterback. Going with Jalen Hurst. But y'all hear my voice though, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I hear
Let's
you.
go.
I hear it.
I'm going with Jalen Hurst. I don't believe in Baker Mayfield at all, but the Eagles ain't give me too much to believe in either. So I'm going with Jalen Hurst.
Brother Brent.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Joe. I would pick the Philadelphia Eagles to win. I think they have just enough on both sides of the ball, and especially on like kick coverage for special teams, to kind of help them win the game. So, I would go with the Eagles.
Okay. Picasso said, what was that question again? About the Texans, and he said, I just got off work. Hope you had a good day at work, brother. And no, we were just talking about the potential matchup against the Browns and Texans. So we were giving our picks. That's all. LA Rams and Lions. JB, who you got?
Ooh. The Rams have been playing good football against everybody, even us. We had to beat them with a punt return. Rams is one of those sneaky teams I knew, and they made the playoffs, so they're gonna give somebody some issues. Um, the Lions have been playing good football. I'm gonna go with the Rams. I just trust her. I think that team, the nucleus of that team, been there. They've been to a Super Bowl. I think that this is where the Detroit Cinderella story ends.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Coach. Lions or Rams?
Of course, it's the battle of two teams the Saints should have needed to beat to get in the playoffs. But on this particular instance, I agree with JB. I'm going with the Rams. I think the Rams, they've kind of been there, done that behind Stafford. The Rams.
Big Joe.
Man, that's a tough one. Because both these teams are balling. The Lions is definitely balling. They have a magical year. And the Rams is that team that everybody has a hard time beating. They don't get blown out. They got a lot of good veterans. Aaron Donald is that dog. He's that dude. The Rams is that team that y'all ever have gotten in a fight, y'all grab somebody and y'all like, man, I'm gonna whoop his ass. And you grab somebody and you like, man, he's a little stronger than I thought. That's kind of how the Rams are,
Yeah.
so
Perfect analogy.
so that's a tough one for me. Fuck it, I'm going with the Lions. Let's go Lions.
Okay. Brent, who you got? LA or Detroit?
Honestly, I got Detroit, man. I think that the momentum for Detroit, which is a huge thing, will kind of help keep them alive. I think, like Joe said, it would be a tougher game than expected. On paper, it looks like Detroit would probably be, superior to them or whatever. But I think that the Rams have a lot of fight in them, man. And I think that it'll probably wind up being something that comes down to the wire. And as long as, and this is a key thing, as long as Coach Campbell isn't too aggressive in decision making, I think that they'll be able to pull it off and win the game.
I
agree.
Uh, and the reason why I'm picking LA is for two people, no, three people. Those two wide receivers they got I'm blanking on his
Luka.
name, Nuka, and of course Cooper Cup, and then Kyron Williams.
Oh,
I don't-
you're talking about Puka Nakua? Is that what you're
Yeah.
talking
Yeah.
Yes. Because Kyron Williams has been going off on defenses, so I'm definitely Puka Nakua. Yeah, thank you, Living Big with Big Reg and Brent.
Mhm.
Kyron Williams has been giving people the business for these last few games. So I don't think the Detroit defensive line, and that especially with their linebackers, especially with Jack Campbell as stand-up linebacker. Me personally, I think his hand needs to be in the dirt. I think they playing him wrong, but yeah, I got LA. Okay. Last but not least, Green Bay and those boys, those Dallas Cowboys. JB, who you got?
Green Bay gonna beat the shit out of the Cowboys.
Well, damn.
Oh damn.
I think it was just one of them teams.
Oh my goodness.
I just think I could be wrong. I'm just picking it. Just say
I think you're wrong as hell, but go ahead.
I'll be the one to say it. I think I like Green Bay's momentum. So everybody want to talk about momentum. The quarterback Love has gotten into his groove. I like their weapons. I like their running backs. The Cowboys haven't been playing good defense, running or in the back end and secondary. And I think this is one of these trap games. I think everybody gonna think that the Cowboys is going to come in here and beat Green Bay, but this is where in the playoffs it's about who get hot, who stay consistent. And I think Green Bay is one of them teams where they're hot, and they got the momentum. And who did the Cowboys just play?
The Washington Commanders.
They getting their ass whooped.
Okay. Coach, who you got? Them cheese heads or them boys?
I hate to say it, but I'm gonna go with the Cowgirls on this one.
Damn. Okay. With the Cowgirls. Okay. Big Joe, who you got?
I'm going with the Cowboys. Two reasons. One, my pops is from Texas. My family's from Texas. My dad's a huge Cowboy fan. So, how about them Cowboys? So on that, I'm going with the Cowboys for that. Second thing is we have a black quarterback. Going with that, even though Love is a black quarterback too. So, but for me, Love is playing. He's playing well, but he's not playing that well. He's not playing like a quarterback who's going to be a huge difference maker in the game. Plus, he's a little inexperienced when it comes to this moment too. The Packers have a good team, but the Packers are not that team. Like where they can they're getting hot, but
they're young.
They haven't put it all together yet. But
yeah, they're young, right?
The Cowboys can't get over the hump. They always frail at the biggest moment. This is a big moment right now. Everybody's gonna be like, okay, well, see what the Cowboys are gonna do. Well, Dak Prescott look like an MVP candidate, but we're gonna see how when it comes to the playoffs, the teams just don't show up. The biggest difference to me will be Michael Parsons. He said at the beginning of the year he wanted to be the MVP of the league, and not just the defense, the MVP of the league. So I'm gonna need 4 or 5 sacks from Michael Parsons if he want to be that guy. So, like brother was saying, the defense a little lackluster. I need D Law and I need Michael Parsons to get it cracking. So I'm gonna go with the Cowboys.
Okay. Brother Brent, who you got? Those cheesehead or them boys?
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and give a Junior the Truth type disclaimer. You know, if you got your kids in the room, you may want to have them cover their ears or have them walk out of the room. Okay. All right, you have been warned. Listen, I have 100% faith that the Dallas Cowboys are gonna fuck this up. Okay, they are. They gonna fuck this up. They're supposed to be the superior team on paper in all 3 phases. Okay, they are supposed to be superior in all 3 phases, but there is no doubt in my mind that the Dallas fuckboys are gonna fuck this up. They just are. They just are. They are gonna find a way to lose. If y'all remember, like back in the day, they had that fake Madden cover with Tony Romo fumbling that kickoff snap. It's gonna look like that. It's gonna look like that. They're gonna mess something up that's real simple, like an extra point, or maybe even like a 1st and goal, and they fumble or something. Something is gonna happen. Something is gonna happen to where they screw this game up. So I got the Green Bay Packers.
Y'all making me want to. I picked the Cowboys to win, but after hearing Joe Town, JB, and Brent, especially Brent's take, damn. I'm gonna stay with the Cowboys. But
My man.
I won't be surprised.
Hey, you stayed with Michigan earlier. You better stay with the Cowboys now. Hey, come on now.
Yeah, yeah. You're right.
Hey, that Michigan paid off, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, me and Brent got Michigan. We picked Michigan. Everybody else picked Bama. Me and Brent knew better. We saw Blake Corum run all over by everybody.
Hey, bro, you ain't got to remind me of me being the one too now, Jared.
Oh, my bad.
Hey, I did mess up and pick Texas though, so.
But to be honest, man, this season went by quick, y'all.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it definitely did, man. It definitely did.
Shit, life went by quick, not the season. Life went by quick.
Period.
You sure right, man.
I'm telling you, y'all. So y'all enjoy these moments, man.
Mm-hmm.
Sit back, enjoy football, cause how things going, how the economy going. You don't know how long we gonna have these entertainment amenities, man. So, just enjoy yourselves, man. I'm blessed to do this with y'all, man. And we're gonna get bigger, but I'm gonna do it the right way. I ain't gonna buy no subscribers or beg for likes. I'm just gonna get it the old-fashioned way. But Brent, and my bad, brother, if you've been trying to get on, man, it's just because with StreamYard, if there's a lot of people on the panel, I couldn't see you backstage unless I scroll down. So that's my bad.
Oh no, bro, you picked me up immediately.
Oh,
Nah.
Okay.
You picked me up immediately.
Okay. But brother Brent, thank you for joining me, man. The show, brother Joseph Townsend, aka LDBC Business. Appreciate you. Starting with Brent, bro. Let people know where they can see you.
All right. Well, the channel is still going. It's just me, hosted by Brent Fox. I'll probably have some updated content for this year, and I genuinely enjoy coming on the Southern Baller Show. and being able to chop it up with my brothers, man. There is nothing like it. I really genuinely enjoy being able to talk football with y'all and just chopping it up, man.
That's why I created a platform. Appreciate it,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Big Joe, where people can
Oh
meet you,
man.
man.
Oh man, so you can catch me on all LDBC platforms, supporting the family, supporting brothers like Trill Will, BFTB, 78 Sports TV,
Yes,
Supreme
sir.
Beats Boxing Talk, and also most importantly, support my brother Jared 001 Green, you know what I mean? So 011 Green, you know what I mean? So,
I appreciate it.
my closing words, I want to give a huge shout out to D'Amico Ryans, who I feel like should be coach of the year. And I want to give a huge
Hmm.
shout out to
I
Stroud,
agree.
who should easily be rookie of the year. Again, we have D'Amico Ryans, who's a former player, who is now a head coach, who is now has transformed a team who was sabotaged on purpose to the point to where now they are in the playoffs. So shout out to a black head coach and a black quarterback. The same black quarterback who was told that he's not smart because his Wonderlic score wasn't high.
Yeah.
And now he took his team with his so-called not smart self into the playoffs. So shout out to
Hmm.
D'Amico Ryans. Shout out to Stroud.
Yes, sir.
All right. And last but not least, Coach 67 Sports TV. Everybody know where they can meet you and see you.
Well, first and foremost, I noticed that both yourself and Brent Fox, y'all gained a few followers. So, we keeping things going, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody that's been rocking with us since day one. Living big with Big Reg. I've seen him a couple times this weekend. Shout out to him, the brother Jay Barr. Everybody has been supporting, showing love. I done seen them brothers a couple times this weekend, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, you can catch me at Cool 67 Sports TV on all social media platforms. X, formerly known as Twitter, on TikTok, on Instagram, so on and so forth. However, primarily you can catch me here on YouTube. You can catch me on my channel, of course. Yesterday we had episode 27 of Value Sports Talk with myself and my cousin Raymond. Right before this show, we had the Let's Go After show with my cousin Rude Dog. So, you can catch me here. I done had a lot of content this weekend. So go check out the channel, Coach 67 Sports TV. I also have a backup channel, Coach 67 Sports TV too. So y'all check me out. Hopefully y'all have a blessed, phenomenal weekend. Blessed, phenomenal work week. We'll catch y'all next week. Peace and blessings to everyone.
Peace and blessings, man. And JB, thank you, my brother, for always supporting me behind the scenes and just keep me encouraged. I appreciate you, man.
No problem. I'm always here for you, bro.
Look at Picasso. Picasso said you can catch me at the local strip club wasting money.
Boy, boy,
Yeah,
boy.
yeah, that's Picasso. So that sounds about right. Shout out to my dog Picasso.
Shout out
If you want to hear some off the wall shit,
There
holla at
you go.
Picasso. He'll give it to you.
Yes, sir.
And Picasso, your Cowboys have been on the roller coaster ride. It's just y'all need to be consistent. Y'all got a great team. Y'all got a scary team, actually. I don't know what it is, man.
By the
But
way, look like the Bills are putting it together right now. I'm just saying. Hey, just saying.
yep, that's a good thing too. But again, inconsistency. Sound a lot like my Ravens if the offensive coordinator don't call the right plays. But anyway, you guys, this has been a great show. First show of the 2024 season. I'm gonna have more content, especially with just me and JB talking about the Tar Heels or just other topics. So y'all stay tuned. But y'all be blessed. Have a blessed Sunday. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Yes,
Salute.
sir. Peace.
Y'all be blessed.